First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom as we do every weekday, and I always like to remind everybody of that. So if you want to tune in, that is a great time to do it. But you can always watch these episodes afterward as well. And if you're a frequent watcher of the show, you know that on Thursdays, right about now, we're joined by the one and only Eric Goranson from Around the House Northwest. Always good to have Eric on here, and always with good advice. And this is something, actually, this one that you have for this week, I have seen people that I know talking about getting caught up or almost getting caught up in some of these different scams that are going on.
Man, there are so many of them out there, brother. So good to see you again. I think I just saw you yesterday, which is awesome.
Yes, indeed.
We were having fun last night, which is always great. But, here's the thing. When it comes to contractors, most of them are absolutely amazing, right? They're great. But it's that small percentage you got to watch out for that might be trying to take advantage of you. And there's some easy ways to kind of protect yourself in the process.
Yeah, it seems like there are, like you mentioned, the majority of people are great, but it's always the few bad ones that ruin things for everybody.
Yeah, and the first thing is to think about basically somebody coming to work in your house that you're hiring that's going to be a contractor, whatever they're doing around there, they should be licensed, bonded, and insured. And part of the reason to that is if I hire somebody just to come over and like clean the outside of my house or get on my roof and clean the roof off or whatever, they're my employee if they're not. So if they fall off the roof, if they get hurt, or even worse, I'm personally responsible like any other employer out there. So even if I was tossing them 100 to do a bunch of work that was cash, I'm liable. So it's really to protect yourself, your home, your investment, and everything else. And of course, make sure somebody that you're hiring knows what they're doing.
That is a really good way to look at that, to just keep that in your mind. Like, oh, okay, I am their employer now. I'm responsible for everything. Yeah, that's scary.
It's big. And in the state of Oregon here, where a lot of us are at, it makes this really easy because we've got the Oregon CCB. And the cool thing is if you're a handyman or you're a contractor in the state of Oregon, you need to be licensed through them. And so before you sign that contract, before you write the deposit check or whatever, you can literally call those guys up and say, hey, I'm going to hire and I'm going to make a name up, ABC Construction. And this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? What is their record? They will walk you through to make sure they've got the right forms, they've got the right information, they're licensed, bonded, insured, and they'll tell you how many complaints they've had and if that measures up to the time they've been in business.
I mean, that's great. So you can get all of that information on somebody just right there.
You could actually call them. They're a state agency that answers the phone. You don't have to wait on hold for days on end. So it's pretty cool. They'll answer the phone. You can help. You can email them too. It's really easy. And, Washington State has something similar with Labor and Industries up there that licenses their contractors, but similar type of thing. You can reach out and do your research, and you can find out who's good and who you should maybe do a little further look into.
That is so good. Good. Yeah, do your due diligence then and make sure that you're looking up all of that. So what's something else that's good for people just to be aware of?
After you've done that and the contractor shows up, maybe they're coming out to give you an estimate, which is, pretty typical for that kind of thing. There's a couple things I look for. One, are they showing up on time? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? Because that's kind of the honeymoon period. If they can't show up on time or they miss appointments or they're not getting back to you on time, wait till they have your money. They're probably less likely to show up than when they're trying to get it from you. So kind of common sense there. But some of the biggest ones that I look for are bids that are super incomplete. Like if I'm going to have somebody remodel my bathroom and it says remodel hall bathroom, $60,000, that should be a big, big warning sign, because in that contract, if it's not listed out what they're doing, they're kind of not obligated to do it. So that's where that is your communication. You should be able to read down that estimate list. And I like to see all the things broken out in that. If it's a bathroom model, I want to know what toilet's going in there, what sink, what faucet, what tub, what hardware, what cabinets, what flooring. And that way you kind of know that it's documented what you're expecting. And the bigger the contract on something like that, the more comfortable I am, because now you have something written down that isn't part of a miscommunication.
Right. Everybody knows exactly what's expected here it is, here it is written, so they can't come back and say, well, we didn't say we're going to do that, or, you know, or vice versa too. But yeah, having that really meticulously written out contract, and I imagine reading it, making sure that you go through it and read it.
If you've got a family attorney, send it over to them, have them take a look at it, make sure there's no warning signs in there, that there's some weird out, you know, or something in. So make sure that. The next one is big too. When they're out there giving you an estimate, one of my biggest like red light warning signs is when they sit there and go, all right, this project is, you know, I'll use a $60,000 number for something as a big project. But if you sign today, I'm going to give you 30% off. That high pressure sales tactic where you can't think about it, where you can't get other bids, is a big warning sign as well, that they're really trying to put the screws down on you. And if they can take $30,000 off or whatever it is, or 20,000 or 30%, you should be able to say, hey, I need a couple days to think about it. That high pressure thing is to try to get you to either get scared into doing it, like, oh, my house is going to fall down if I don't do this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's one of those things, you just want to make sure you got that balance there, because high pressure sales is usually a warning sign for me that they're trying to get you so you can't look at other bids. And the probably reason why you're wanting to look at other bids is it could be way high.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had somebody do that exact same thing to me with some pipes that needed to be replaced. And it was basically gave me the dire situation of, oh, you know, everything's going to collapse and your whole house is going to flood. And if you don't sign right now, and here's the price, and we can get started today. And, you know, it was completely untrue. But they're good at it. They get you off balance, and you know, and that's the same thing. Well, like if you hire plumbing companies, there are a lot of good drain companies out there, but I always want to be sticking around and keeping my nose in their business when they're doing this. And I know I'll get some hate mail from some plumbers, but here's what can happen. And I learned this from my buddy Roger Wakefield that we talked about a few weeks ago when he was on with me. There's a lot of times they have their snakes that they put down for drain companies. They'll put them down there. There's a handful of maybe not so honest ones out there where they've got the last house saved where it was plugged, and they come in and go, oh, here's your pipe, and look at this big plug. It's where the roots are in the front yard. So we need to dig it up, and it's going to be $5,000 versus maybe a $300 or $400 or $500 job of just cleaning it out. So you want to make sure that you're out there looking at them, watching them put the snake down, and seeing that camera so you can watch and see what happens live with them. It's way smarter that way, so you know what's going on. They can explain it, and you know it's not a fake video because you're watching them put it down in there, and you can watch it live. Nobody's really that good. They're not getting all Spielberg on you trying to put stuff together. But if you're not out there, they could pull the wool over your eyes, and that's another one. Man, that's shady. Yeah, so stick there, be there with them while they're doing it. That's really good advice on what to know there. Anything else that you think is important? I mean, we've covered quite a bit.
Yeah, one more. Just if you're hiring a handy person out there, make sure that you know what they can do and what they can't. If they're dealing with electrical, they're dealing with plumbing, most of the time that has to be a licensed electrician or a licensed plumber, and they may not be even licensed to do that, even if they have it. You know, they're usually not licensed to work on HVAC systems and things like that. So when in doubt, get the proper pro out there to deal with it. You know, hire the plumber, because it's going to cost you more. You're going to pay half the price for the handyman to do it, and then you're going to have to hire the plumber to come out and fix it. And that happens more often than you like. And just have it done right. Do it once. And if you have to pay twice, it's always way more expensive. And many times you have to buy the product twice as well. So it adds up quickly.
Yeah, I would much rather just have it done once, done right. Don't have to worry about it again.
Yep, and you got the right person doing it.
Yep, with the right person. Awesome. Well, some great advice right there, so people can share this segment as well. So anybody out there who's working on your home or knows somebody working on a home, this is all really good things. These are all really good things to know.
And Greg, I talk about it for an hour on my weekend radio show and podcast. So if somebody wants to hear a deep dive, they can just find me on any podcast player.
Yeah, so people can go look that up as well, especially if you're getting ready to do a big project. I'm sure there's lots of great advice in there of what to do, what to know, what to watch out for.
Oh, yeah.
And could save everybody a lot of money and hassle. When it comes to Around the House Northwest, do we have a preview of this week's episode?
Oh, yeah. We got a really cool house to go out and take a look at. This is fun. It's a new build out in Southeast Portland, and they came in and really designed this 3-story house around the landscaping. It has these big heritage trees there. They kept the trees and built this beautiful kind of contemporary Norwegian feel home. And the cool thing is it's a great architect, and the builder is a woodworker. So there is just top shelf woodworking in this house, from wood panels to the staircase to the beautiful walnut cabinets. It's absolutely gorgeous. I walked in and my jaw hit the floor, and it was like, you just don't see this quality in a new build, especially at this price point, which is super exciting to me.
Wow, that's really cool. And a new build, yeah, in Southeast Portland. I'm very curious to see that one. And that's on this week's episode.
Exactly. And then we go out to the brand new floor and decor store and take a look at all the new products out there that just opened up in Tualatin. And then we go talk about paving blocks with Mutual Materials, about doing a patio or a project like that. And then, of course, we go out to Liz's house and finish up on her next steps on her kitchen remodel. So it's a jam-packed show.
Nice. So many different things there to do and to watch, and that's every week you have a new episode. So this is on this week's episode. And how can people watch?
You know, if you missed last week's episode, don't worry. You can catch it tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. But the new episode we're just talking about, 10 a.m. Fox 12 Plus. Set your DVR, and if you miss it there, don't worry. It'll go on at 6 p.m. on Sunday, as well again the following Friday at 8:30, and then it's all up on YouTube with the other 600 videos.
There we go. Yeah, 600 videos of people that have things that you can go through and watch. You can also check out the Fox 12 Now videos on there as well. And as always, Eric, awesome to have you on and learn something here too. So this, again, everybody, like seriously, this can save you some money and huge hassle there by following these that advice, and then get the deeper dive as well on the podcast and radio show. And thanks for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. We live stream here every weekday, so we've got more coming up this afternoon. We got to take a quick break, then we'll be back, and we will talk to you then. Let's see if I can hit this button correctly. Okay, I just dropped that there. All right, Eric, good to talk to you.
Thanks, brother.